Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I had no idea you guys were here. Welcome. Today we have a very good one in store for you. I am taking you guys on a tour of Flathead Field in Kalispell, Montana to see the Glacier Range Riders in action. This goes for everyone back in Montana that I said I would be making this video for. I just got back into San Antonio a little over a week ago. There's really no reason beyond just working some of the missions games why I haven't made this video, but sit back, relax. It is finally coming your way. We are getting a walkthrough tour of Flathead Field, home of the Glacier Range Riders. Now, I had the incredible opportunity from the Glacier Range Riders front staff to actually attend the first and second game in Flathead Field history, and they were nothing short of eventful. I mean, seriously, these games had it all. And on top of that, this was also my first time back in Montana, which is my home state, my stomping grounds for the first time since I graduated college in 2017 from the University of Montana. Go Grizz. I invite you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, it wouldn't be a travel vlog if there wasn't some inclusion for the airports and the flying process. So we'll go ahead and start there. Two very easy flights, one out of San Antonio, the next one out of Denver, but it's the landing in Kalispell is where we're gonna open up today. As we got closer and closer to Kalispell, we drifted from the beautiful blue skies into the dark gray, and that really set the mood for this trip. Here's our first look at Flathead Lake coming into the Flathead Valley, but we're also going to get our first look at the beautiful Swan Mountains, as well as the Flathead River. There's been a lot of rain lately, and it made everything super green. It made the mountains very blue. I know Glacier National Park is going through some kind of like renovation. I think they're building a brand new terminal, so there was a little construction, but easy peasy. I was greeted by my brother Kurt, as well as my brother Colton, my brother Rob, and of course my mom. And we made our way through the city of Kalispell and on into Big Fork, greeted immediately by the open blue skies of the state. I mean, they call this Big Sky Country for a reason. Enough time had passed, this really felt like seeing this for the first time, and it was just as beautiful as I remember. But first things first, it was time for breakfast, and there was only one spot that could satisfy. This is literally my first meal of the day after waking up 8 hours ago to fly out of San Antonio. I gotta scale it down a little bit, dip it in the hollandaise, get a nice potato in there. There we go. This is the one. Traveled 1,000 miles for that. And I would go 1,000 more for another bite. It's really good. After breakfast, it was time to head into Big Fork and check out the village. We're here in downtown Big Fork on the one-lane bridge. Pretty sweet view. I don't know if you can hear any of this. It's pretty loud. Apparently this is being replaced. I don't know when. It's just kind of info that my mom told me, but going over this thing, it's pretty cool. It's like you can kind of feel the water kind of coming down, like pretty intense. The whole thing shakes like crazy anytime a car goes over. It's pretty wild.
Oh, got a little toastage there.
Oh yeah. Those look great. I'm very happy. Very happy. Start here with the C. The CW. Let me check if that's hot. Ooh, yeah. This is me branding my initials on our family brand tree. I haven't had the chance to do this because I've been away for so long, but I felt like the time was more than due. There you go. Oh, that looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That looks pretty good. Okay. It's slick. It's slick because it's all wet. Boom.
Oh, nice.
And there forever.
That's right.
I never go nowhere.
Go stand next to it. We need to admire your work. Oh, yeah. Got it.
Yeah. Now it's vacation, so obviously dessert came first, and then it was time for the main course of my mom's famous meatloaf, which is another meal that I would happily travel 1,000 miles for. As I enjoyed my mouth-watering meal with a spectacular view, I was getting myself mentally prepared for the next day for the Range Riders home opener, and I felt that I was mostly prepared for that. I mean, like, what's a little rain? No big deal. But I really had no idea just how crazy this rain was supposed to hit. Boy, was I in for it.
Excessive rain and flooded roads triggering evacuations and an emergency order in the Flathead Valley.
Heavy rainfall is taking over roadways, eroding riverbanks, and flooding homes.
And with recent snow, warmer temperatures, and more rain headed our way, the Flathead County Board of Commissioners is officially declaring a state of emergency.
Record-breaking rainfall with over 2 inches in 24 hours. The old record set in 1973.
Everything I owned was completely soaked as I got ready for the drive up to the ballpark, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that now. This is the entire Flathead Valley. You can see the cities of Big Fork and Kalispell, as well as Glacier National Park. Whitefish just up the road from Kalispell. If you're feeling very bold, you can take a trip over to my high school town of Thompson Falls. Not sure I would recommend that one way or another. Highway 93 is where we're going to find Flathead Field. So it's kind of right in the middle between the cities of Kalispell and Whitefish, right by where the Montana Raceway used to be before it closed, unfortunately, in 2020. If you're local, you'll be familiar with the Majestic Valley Arena, which is right where this is at. You just turn left on McDermott Lane if you're heading up north, and you just go on up and follow the signs. Obviously, a very rainy, soaked evening heading up to the ballpark. Kind of turn left up this hill. There's still a little bit of construction going on, but nothing too major. I'm greeted by the excellent parking staff that'll show you the way, and you'll get your first look at Flathead Field coming around that corner. It's time to park and meet up with my brother Rob.
What a night for baseball. The Range Riders.
Now, obviously, I chose the perfect footwear for this. I would not regret this later as we headed up to the ticket window to pick up our season tickets. Oh, nice.
Season tickets, all right,
Season
bro.
ticket, yeah. There you go. That's what they look like. They're pretty sweet, man. Season tickets. And got to enjoy our very first look at Flathead Field. Absolutely gorgeous, even through the rain. This is so beautiful. Gorgeous brand new scoreboard, comparable really just to the two football stadiums at Montana State and the University of Montana. My favorite detail is that center field is a perfect 406 feet. So they, of course, had to put that in the outline of Montana because we are 406. Here's tonight's pitcher Brock Knoten getting ready on the mound as the fans are taking their seats. And we get our first look at your 2022 Glacier Range Riders. Here's them breaking away from the national anthem as Rob shows us all how to keep your hot dogs warm in cold weather. Got that thing on me. Now this is by far the coldest first pitch I have ever experienced in all of my days of baseball. 39 degrees with the rain. Absolutely insane. So fans were kind of doing everything they could to keep warm, dancing with the mascots, that's Cliff and Huck. Or you could visit the Mercantile, which I did almost immediately, and bought myself a nice hat. Keep my hair nice and dry. There came a point where a beer was absolutely necessary, and we got a brew and a view. Do not freak out. I know there's going to be people in the comments. This is not actually a Bud Light. It is the Miner's Gold Hefeweizen from Lewis and Clark Brewing. Absolutely delicious. There's Cliff doing all he can to keep these fans excited and engaged. Due to copyright, guys, I really can't be playing some of these clips with the audio at the risk of getting like demonetized or striked. So lend your imagination. I will sing some of these songs for you. Personally, I was getting soaked to the bone at this point, and I was really waiting until the 7th inning stretch just to kind of get some nice footage of more fans dancing and having fun, because the fans that showed up for this game were absolutely having a blast, and I have nothing but respect and admiration for them. Sadly, however, we would never get to experience the 7th inning stretch together. With the rain only getting worse as this game went on, it was eventually called after 6 innings, with a final score of Billings 9 and Glacier 4. And I walked home with a sad heart and soaking wet socks, just doing everything I could to go ahead and go home, get some sleep, get ready for the next game. But of course, I had to snap this great picture with Huck before I walked out. Game 1 was kind of a stinker, a little bit of a letdown, but Game 2 would prove to be a lot more eventful. And don't just take my word for it, I'm just some guy here in San Antonio, Texas. Let's take it to someone who is actually in Montana and present for the game. Hey everyone, it's Cody here, checking in at Flathead Field. Actually very, very fortunate for an exclusive look at the field, at all the amenities. It's still slightly under construction, but last night was opening night. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience despite the rain, and we're here checking it out. Much better weather conditions today. Game 2 against the Billings Mustangs. Let's take a look at it. Beautiful sightlines over here as I'm at the third base suite level, and you can just see gorgeous sightlines all around. I love this wood paneling. It really matches this kind of like Montana rustic sort of motif. As we can see the Billings Mustangs taking BP and getting ready. You can see some of the suites are a little unfinished. There are plans for a full-time restaurant and other amenities, but fans can still sit up here and enjoy these beautiful seats. There's really no bad sightlines all around, and honestly, this view from center field will never, ever, ever get old. Now, on the first base side suite level, we have kind of more of like a permanent press area. From what I understand, they are planning on moving some of the press area towards third base side as well, and we'll see some more of that here in a little bit. There's this gorgeous original artwork on the first base side as well, and this is kind of looking back more into the parking lot. You can see even just rolling up on a bus, you're treated to gorgeous views. We're going to kind of make our way down towards the dugout area, kind of get a look at the seats here. I love the Cliff logo on the side of all the seats. Gorgeous glass and wood all around. Now this is a artificial turf field, so there is no seeds allowed. Gorgeous look at the dugouts there as we kind of get ready to check in on some of these players warming up. There is only one Chick-fil-A in the state, and it happens to be in Kalispell. So I kind of like that foul pole, kind of clever there. Now here in a little bit, we're going to open up the gates to let the fans in, but I want you to pay attention to this helmet right here, because we are going to be seeing that again very shortly by the end of this game. Now, there seem to be a lot more fans this time around just because the weather was infinitely better. And I think people were just kind of waiting to have that rain pass by before they came out to a game. And those that came tonight would be treated to a good one. Huck and Cliff getting everyone excited for the game. And a lot of people kind of came right to this bar immediately as you walk in. It's a really cool little bar right at the gates. But everyone gets treated to this beautiful view. If you look out here in left field, you can see Big Mountain. And I refuse to call it Whitefish Mountain. It's Big Mountain. It was Big Mountain. It is Big Mountain and will always be Big Mountain, and I will die on that hill. I won't literally die on that hill. I have been skiing in some less than ideal situations where I thought I might die on that hill, but I will die on the hill that it is Big Mountain and not Whitefish Mountain Resort or whatever they're trying to call it. Let's get back to this. And we get a look at our players warming up. I could actually get some of the shots that I wanted to tonight. Obviously, much better weather conditions allowing me to do so. Can we just talk about real quickly how gorgeous these uniforms are? That's it. That's all I have to say about it. That's my only point, is that their uniforms, just everything about this team is just absolutely awesome. That's Pierce Smith on the bump tonight, who's going to be starting us off. Our players are looking tough and cool and fierce. What athletes, what competitors. I'm not just saying that to be funny. This team is actually very, very good, and this roster is stacked. Players took the field to get ready for the national anthem. I can't help but think about how awesome that is to run out on a field that gorgeous with those snow-capped mountains. It's just unbelievably cool. Like, this is without a doubt the nicest park now in the Pioneer League since it got built. And I've been to a number of these ballparks and nothing really touches like what a gem this is. And we start off the game with a nice little strikeout as I headed up to where our season tickets were, spent a few innings with my family.
Great way to catch that.
This is Scott Gladstone, the voice of the Glacier Range Riders. He actually invited me up to speak during the bottom of the fourth inning, and I wound up staying for about 2 full innings, just talking everything from baseball to logos to growing up in the Flathead Valley. Now you can see that whole conversation. I'll link it in the description below. Sony Music Entertainment has blocked the actual content of the broadcast, so unfortunately you can't go back and rewatch that game. Sony, I know you're really busy like cashing in on the whole Morbius meme. Unfortunately, this is the one game that the Glacier Range Riders have broadcasted that we can't go back and rewatch. Scott actually has an incredible view out of that press box window. I'm very, very jealous of that. always happens in the world of baseball. You tie the game, and then very next inning, team takes the lead right back. So some fans were starting to leave, but those that stuck around were in for a treat, including these lads who thought that I was the actual team photographer, so they asked me to take a picture. These kids were looking cool and tough. Thank you very much for flattering me and thinking that I was the actual team photographer. I'm just some dude. Now what happens here in the bottom of the ninth, I'm just going to let play out in its entirety. But again, we have to be careful about the music, so allow me to just sing for you again while this is playing. I'm back in black. Yes, I'm back in black. I'm back in black. I'm back in black. Now that was pretty unbelievable with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Livingston Morris just absolutely crushed one to tie it. But rest assured, this is not the last we're seeing from Livingston Morris. This whole game could be a Livingston Morris highlight reel. Now the Pioneer League doesn't do extra innings. They do this like home run, derby, walk-off kind of thing. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Now I love this because we've got 2 teams kind of like eyeing each other down, like kind of West Side Story style. I don't really know what was happening there, but that was pretty funny. So I made this graphic. It took me 45 minutes, so just enjoy it. I have nothing else to say about it.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Watch what happens with this catcher as Billings starts their round for the home run derby, which they really had no answers for. And we just kind of like short circuits for a second. Watch this. I don't know who you are. I hope you're okay. Ouch. Now, what Livingston Morris did to this baseball ought to be illegal. Again, I'm just going to let this play out for you guys.
Joining us tonight at Flathead Field. Your Glacier Range Riders take the field again tomorrow for the final game.
Well, y'all, that is Flathead Field in a nutshell, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I flew all the way from San Antonio to be a part of this for games 1 and game 2. Again, special thank you to the Glacier Range Riders for making this happen. They gave me a press pass and everything, which was really cool. I did not expect this level of kind of legitimacy. I'm still a young channel and I'm growing. There's a lot of learning curves with doing this kind of thing, but just the chance to come out and make content was kind of a dream come true. If you're in Montana and you want to go to a Glacier Range Riders game, hit me up, DM me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you gotta do. I have season tickets to see the Range Riders. I have 2 tickets to every home game all season. They're currently in possession of my family. They don't intend to go to every single game. They intend to make sure someone goes to every single game. So if you want to go to a Range Riders game, hit me up. I'll make sure my family gives you tickets. We have physical tickets for the games all season, and I will happily put you in those seats and let you experience the Glacier Range Riders for yourself. So even if you have like a slight interest, hit me up. I'll make sure you can get to a game. Appreciate you guys. Again, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.